Hey everyone, welcome to New Release Today. I'm Bradden and we're here with an amazing artist, Grace Graber. How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing great. Yeah, I just heard you perform, right on the stage at a powerful event. We're here at an event.
I cried.
Yes.
I cried.
Literally, it's against suicide, bringing awareness to that. It's a powerful event. I got emotional. You were up on stage getting emotional while giving a powerful word and song. Yeah. How do you feel about that right now?
I feel really good. I feel like it's so crazy to think that like the younger me is here today. Like, you know, it's just crazy to think that I've come all this way, and when I felt like there wasn't hope, and to see myself here today and being able to share who I know Jesus is with over 1,000 people today at this event is just really, really cool to see the ripple effect of what can happen when your life is saved by music.
Praise God. I love that. And you've always been an advocate, supporter of that. You released your album a couple months ago, Breakthrough. What's it been like looking back at the impact of all the months of the stories of it, all that God's done with it? What's that been like?
Relieving, actually, because like when you're working on something as big as an album, it's you all the time, and that's not what those songs were meant to be about. They're meant to be about the people listening to them. So when they're finally out and doing what they're supposed to do, I feel so much like relief and so much less pressure to perform, and I can just know that the songs are going to do what they're going to do and God's going to use them, and I can kind of let go. Like I don't have to hold on to them with like a knuckled grip anymore.
Exactly. And that's so awesome to see. Like, probably my favorite album of the year. It was incredible. The stories just keep coming in.
Don't tell Forrest Frank.
Speaking of which, you are nominated in the We Love Christian Music Awards for Pop Album of the Year. What is that like? Because you won Next Big Thing a few years ago.
Yeah. Sorry, Kevin. I know. Hey, I'm honored. I'm in shock a little bit. Just to think like, oh wow, that was worthy enough to be like honored. Like I feel very honored, and I am gonna hold that tightly and encourage people to get out there and vote because it is it's fan voted, and the people next to me are insane. Like I don't feel worthy, but you guys thought so I love you guys. Thank you.
Of course, yeah, we love it, especially seeing you're an independent artist, fully going at it, and the fact that you're still releasing music on par with other artists. Like you're up against Forrest Frank as well, another independent artist. It's incredible to see you guys, independent ones, leading the charge. Yeah,
it's really cool because it shows you that you don't have to be put in a box, and there's no standard anymore. There's no like traditional way about going about it, and that's what I think about. It's so cool that people are just getting up and doing their own thing, because there is no cookie cutter way anymore. Like it works for a second, and then people get bored. And so it's really cool to be a part of that movement, and to also have the history of like all the Christian rock bands that went before me, like carrying their legacy on my shoulders and being able to kind of show like, yeah, like we don't need any, like, I don't know. I feel like in front of a group of guys, just like, yeah, rock is cool, you know, like, I don't know. It's pretty fun to lead the charge.
Oh yeah, I love that. Like it's a mix of pop, rock, punk. You're owning it. The music is impacting.
And like, you know, just chill. Like there's so much to the album. I feel like I like the pop punk thing will always be my go back to, but I love how like the album's made room for me to be a part of like worship, and made me be a part of like pop, and just shown kind of like every aspect of who I am as an artist. So
that's incredible. I love that. Speaking of who you are as an artist, you're a huge advocate about mental health. And like we're here at an event that's not primarily a Christian event. Like there's believers here, but this is not really what most Christian artists would want to, you know, do a part of. And yet it's so powerful. Like so many people have already came up to you sharing about how what you shared, your music, your minister's impact. And why does that matter, especially for Christian artists right now, about getting out there with a cause like this and jumping into areas like this?
People are dying. That it will always be my response to why I do what I do and how I do it. And because people are dying, I will not shut up about it. I will not shut up. All I have is my story. Like, I'm not the most talented singer. I'm not the most like creative artist. Like I'm actually, if you look at what I've been given, it's very like little, and like it's kind of cool that I'm being able to be nominated for an award and all like it's really cool to think about that because that's all God. But like I only have my story and I only have what God's done in my life, and that's it. The rest is just staying faithful to sharing that in all of these creative ways to share it. And so that's my response is like we can't afford to not do these types of events. We can't afford to just do church events or like these are the most special because there are people who are truly hurting at this event. I've seen it. I've heard some stories already today, and they don't know Jesus. And so to be able to get up on stage and literally say, I'm sorry if someone ever misrepresented Jesus to you, that means a lot that the Lord entrusted me to be the one to do that today in Nashville. Mm-hmm. That's really, really cool.
I love that. And many artists don't do it, but that's like what God calls us to do. That's just being commissioned, evangelizing, just sharing the gift God's given you and the story he's given. Because I know I've been there too in suicide, and praise God, by the grace of God, we're both here today, and God's
by the grace of God. Sorry.
Yeah.
I had to. We said it.
Of course. Yeah. Sorry for everyone who heard me singing. You're here for grace. Speaking of which, so many fans, like, I know hearing so many fan stories have come out. So many fans are sharing about these songs. I've heard so many because run into all your fans all the time, ran into some today. There's so many stories about how these songs are impacting. What is a little bit you can share? Because even thinking back a year ago, like I saw you in Texas performing, and there was this girl, and you had a moment where you were speaking this truth over her, and she started crying as that God really moved on her heart. What's it like hearing that fan story now? Because you're an artist now, and a song saved your life, and now your songs are helping others really remind them of the life God's given.
Honestly, I try not to think about like I think about it and I think that's cool, but like that's all Jesus and that's all God doing that. Like I don't want to be like, oh yeah, no, but I think it goes back to what I said, like him entrusting me today and him entrusting me at locations to go to, like to any show, any church event, be able to speak, be able to do, you name it. Like he's entrusted me to be the one to remind that person that they're not alone. And I needed that when I was younger. He's entrusted me to be the person I needed when I was younger. Oh my gosh. Yeah, like that's what hits me the most. I think the coolest thing has been like being able to sing If You're Like Me, and like be able to prophetically, that song is really a prophetic prayer that if anyone else is like feeling like my testimony relates to them, I get a chance during my set to pray over them with a song that means a lot to me. And I think those are like the cool moments, are the ones that I can see it's happening for someone in that moment. They may not approach for me after, but I always pick a couple people in the audience that maybe they're in the back, maybe they're not up front participating a whole lot, but you just see them kind of lift their hands at one point, or you see them close their eyes, or you see them come to tears a little bit. And it's like, I know that God is softening and doing something there. So I think those are the really, really cool stories for me, is because that's the thing. It's not all like up front. It doesn't always have to be up front, like this amazing testimony. We can trust that God is working in the background. We can trust that like God is working and doing something while watching this video right now. We can, and I think that's like the coolest part to that, is the stories that I don't get to hear, the stories that only God uses. And I was one of those stories. Like a Hawk Nelson song stopped me from committing suicide, and I think they heard it from me a couple times, but they never thought of it, and they probably would have never thought I would run with it and do everything I'm doing now. They never thought. They really haven't. I've talked to Jason. It's like, I just remember you being like a shy 16-year-old kid. And so that's like what I'm excited to see, is in 10 years from now what the impact has looked like. And the stories that I don't know that have happened already. So, yeah.
Wow. That's awesome. Just hearing how God's using you, God's using the music, like your life's a testimony already, and just seeing that impact, like you said, it's all Jesus.
It's truly all about Jesus. And that's what I think is cool about Christian rock and different genres and all of that, is there are different ways to just show how creative our God is. And so much people have this interpretation in this box, and I think it's really cool that genres like Forrest Frank and me and even Waverly coming back out. Like that's so needed. We are so needed. If we're the body, we can't all be hands. And so I feel honored to be the eyeball in the Christian music industry the eyeball that I can dress up and put glitter on, you know?
Amen.
You don't put it directly on your eyeball. You put it on your lid. So maybe I'm the eyelid.
True.
I don't care.
Interesting
Anyways.
analogy.
Yeah. There you go. Awkward moments with Grace Graber.
Woo, we're here for it. Speaking of which, well, not the awkward moments, but the moments coming up, because 2025, we're kicking it.
Okay.
What can people expect coming into this year about what Grace Graber has in store?
I don't know. No. Maybe expect music. We'll definitely expect music. I have some collaborations in the works. None of it's been confirmed, so I don't want to say it now and then later be like, oh my gosh. But just know I'm working on my sophomore album. I'm working on that right now. But I'm not going to release that next year. So just know I've got the next 5 years planned.
Hey, okay. Nice.
Yeah, I have goals. I have a vision. I have opportunity coming. It just all depends. It all depends. I've got a lot of expect a lot of collaborations next year. Actually next year. And then expect some releases, I don't know, the Lord's been working a lot in my life personally behind the scenes. Like I have actually been detoxing off my SSRI recently.
Wow.
I've been working with my doctor. Don't worry. I say that. And then people go, is she working with a doctor? I'm working with my doctor and I'm like almost off my antidepressant right now. And the Lord has done so much healing in my own life. So what I'm expecting is to see how that will progress into the music, you know, like, and being able to share that. Because I know for me, when I was going through like some insane depression and anxiety and someone talked about getting off your antidepressant and all that, like I was so cynical about it. And now knowing like I have been passed by a doctor and it's safe for me to be able to get off my antidepressant, it's been so healing and freeing, and I'm kind of excited to see how that reflects, especially in how that changed my point of view on some of the songs that already have been written. So expect a lot of punk sounds and healing.
Hey, I love it. We're here for it. Woo. So we're about to have done this interview, but wanted to ask, because this is what we always do from the release today, because we care about you artists. We love what you guys are doing.
I know what you're going to ask.
How can we be praying for you?
Pray for vision, direction. Not vision. I know what I'm doing. But I guess like open doors, continued favor. I think that's the word that's always on my brain is like, Lord, I need favor. I want favor. Because I am in a really odd spot. I am independent. I don't reach the status quo that you would call a Christian artist. And so I need favor going into this next season in all areas of my life.
Definitely. We'll be praying for you. And for everyone watching this, follow Grace if you don't. You matter. You're loved. God has so much in store for you. Grace, can you share a little bit for anyone watching right now?
Hey, I'm Grace Graber, and you're not alone. Cheers.
There we go.